Get ready. Get set. It's time for the basement view. Well. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How's it going? It's me. I'm back Monday. It is April 28th. Man, it has zipped on by. We're in the spring. Hey, how about that? I gotta tell you, I love every minute of it. Man, that's a beautiful thing. Almost summer. Today, hey Carmen, what's up, James? Today was so warm, I was just ecstatic. Got out on the bike. Actually went to this foot trail. I mean, not foot trail, but fit trail again. I told y'all about the fit trail, I think. There's a fit trail down at this park. And they got 8 stations where you stop and do exercise. And I have been hitting it. Hey, tell Lisa I said hello. So, I've been hitting the bicycle, hitting the fit trail, hitting all the stations at the fit trail. It was nice and warm. It's still warm out there. You know, I might start doing this. This might turn into the backyard view. Just so y'all know, it might turn into the kick your feet up in the backyard view. Okay? Just, just so you know. Hey, I wouldn't say guru. I would not say guru at all. I tell you what, my fat cells are struggling with this idea. Okay? They none too liking it. They ain't liking it worth a damn. Okay? But I messed around and put this damn fat back on after, doing pretty good last year. And, hey, it is what it is. So I just got to get it back off. Got to work my ass off and get it back off. It is what it is. Not hard to do. Okay. Well, the good thing is I have gotten started. That's the good thing. The key is getting started. And as long as you get started, hey, you got a chance of being successful. That's the key to everything. Just get started. Like old Nike used to say, just do it. So, how are you guys? Everybody okay? Hope everybody's nice and healthy and happy. I mean, it's not hard to gain the weight. Yeah, no shit. Now, I am a guru at gaining the weight, okay? Now, I tell you what, I've put in some research and development and putting that shit on, okay? I know how to put it on. Hey, Charles, what's happening? Hey, by any chance, did any of you hear this fool talking about he runs the country and he runs the world. Did anybody hear that? He did an interview with the Atlantic talking about he runs the country and he runs the world. I tell you what, this guy made a jackass of himself, and you know who we talking about. I don't need to mention any names about who we talking about. But this guy made a complete jackass of himself all weekend. But yeah, he did an interview with the Atlantic. Jeffrey Goldberg, of all the people, you know, that's the guy, that's the editor of the Atlantic, who happens to be the reporter that was in on the infamous text chat where they had the top secrets chatting back and forth. That Jeffrey Goldberg. They did an interview with him. Trump gave them an interview. And during that interview, he says, I run the country and the world. Now, if that's not a megalomaniac, I don't know what is. With the worst polling numbers you ever seen. And talking about he runs the country and the world. And that's what happens when you give a petulant child some power. That's what happens. Not to mention, did anyone see this clown sticking out like a sore thumb at the funeral? The only fool at the funeral wearing a blue business suit. Did anybody see that? I mean, in a sea of black, one fool wearing a blue business suit. Talk about a national embarrassment. And I do mean national embarrassment. I tell you what, it is incredible. It's incredible. And every time he starts to talk, he just lies from the first word. It's like, you know, it's amazing. It's like this nightmare won't stop. Say he fell asleep during the eulogy. Well, of course. Of course, you know, he's got no attention span. You know he's got no attention span. He fell asleep while Elon Musk was giving his speech in the Oval Office. He's got no attention span at all. Of course he fell asleep. He's up all night tweeting. You can't stay up all night tweeting. Or whatever it is he calls it. I won't say it because it's the exact opposite of what he calls it. You know. So anyway, boy, I tell you. And the destruction. Well, hey, don't let MAGA hear you say that. Oh, they seem to think he's young and virile, you know. Don't let MAGA hear you say he's old. Hell no. You know, the fact that he's like, what, 2 years younger than Joe Biden? And they want to call Joe Biden old, and this guy's, what, 2 years younger? That's funny. And not to mention, of all things in the world, signed an executive order to start screwing with Trump's an old bastard. Yeah, Yeah, that's pretty much it. But he signed this executive order to start screwing with the African American Museum at the Smithsonian. And I thought, why in the hell would he do that? Why the hell would he do that? And now they're starting to take exhibits and artifacts out of the museum. They're going in and taking the artifacts out and sending them back to the people who donated them for display at the museum. How crazy is that? What kind of what? You can't erase the black history in this country, the black experience in this country. You can't erase it. Here, check out this report.
On the news at 11, I'm Larry Miller. Multiple sources confirmed to WUSA 9 the Smithsonian Institution is starting to move out some artifacts from the National Museum of African American History and Culture. In fact, a civil rights leader and pastor said that he was told the artifacts he donated to the museum were being returned. Our Alexis Wainwright has the full story.
2 employees with the National Museum of African American History and Culture told me the museum is moving out some of its artifacts. Now, this news has ignited growing concerns among visitors who travel from all over the world to learn about African American history.
I'm not disappointed. And it's unfortunate that people don't realize that if you don't know history, you will repeat history's horrors.
Reverend Dr. Amos Brown says he has seen it all. He's been a civil rights activist for 73 years and has been on the front lines of history. But now he feels some of the history is being erased. He received an email from the Smithsonian Institution this month informing him the artifacts he donated to the National Museum of African American History and Culture were being returned. The artifacts included a Bible Brown carried during the demonstrations with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Jesse Jackson, and a copy of History of the Negro Race in America, one of the first books on racism in the U.S.
This honest excuse was because they were under too much light.
And to be clear, you never asked for these books back, correct?
No. I called them, told them how unfortunate, how illogical it was.
We went to the museum Saturday afternoon to see the exhibit where Brown, the Bible, and the book were once featured. Do you know where the Bible originally was? Was it over here?
It was right there to the left of the narrative.
But we didn't see it. Brown said those artifacts have been with the museum since it opened in 2016.
We're not going to let nobody tell us what we can't read. And what we can't celebrate is our artifacts.
He also said the lunch counter where the students from North Carolina A&T sat down and started the sit-in movement is also under discussion of being removed. WUSA 9 was not able to independently confirm this alleged discussion, and multiple calls to the Smithsonian Institution and the National Museum of African American History and Culture were not returned. While we were there Saturday, nothing about the historic lunch counter appeared different or altered.
It was all about someone being against diversity.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order in March demanding that, quote, improper, divisive, or anti-American ideology be removed from the Smithsonian Institution. That order singles out the National Museum of African American History and Culture as problematic.
Most unfortunate directive, order.
And visitors we spoke with Saturday say they are stunned.
I just feel like that's crazy, and he shouldn't do that because us black people ourselves came a long way, and that's like taking a big part of our culture away.
It's very frustrating. I'm glad I had my glasses on because I didn't want my children to see the emotion that was driven up.
Now, Dr. Amos says this makes him nervous for the future of the museum. We have reached out directly to the museum and the Smithsonian, but haven't heard back just yet. Alexis Wainwright, WUSA 9.
That, I got to tell you, is amazing. That is amazing. I did not know. I have no idea what the protocol is for adding or removing exhibits or artifacts to or from a museum. I don't know the process. I don't know. I don't know how an executive order from the president can channel down to somehow micromanaging the exhibits at a museum. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, I guess he's gonna put. I guess they're just gonna put all lovey-dovey white stuff at an African American museum. I mean, what do you think? That sounds crazy to me that they've started removing artifacts and talking about removing exhibits because this guy's got a problem with Black history. You know, we know that they have decided that DEI somehow means black. Somehow they've transformed DEI to mean black. But to think that by removing an artifact from a museum, you can erase the history of that artifact. No matter what you do, you cannot erase the experience. You can't erase the history. You can't erase the knowledge. The knowledge will go on. No, Carmen, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they are hell bent on whitewashing America. There's no process when the country is at the whim of a madman. Well, James, you said it, I didn't. You know, yeah, there seems to be a willingness to skip any process and go right to the whim of a madman. That pretty much sums it up. I mean, I can't say it any better than that. But it seems like, and it seems more like to churn a hatred. You saw the day that he wants to run in 2028. Yeah, I've seen the Trump 2028 hats. You know, I tell you what, well, 2028, he's got to actually be able to be mobile. I don't know. I don't know what kind of drugs they giving this guy. He can't be in the greatest shape. Yeah, their hats too. If you look on the website, I go on the website and look at the stuff that they got. They got Trump 2028 hats on the website. Yeah. And, you know, they try to put it off as joking and all this other stuff. Hey, Perry, what's happening, man? They trying to change the Constitution so he can run again. Well, they don't have enough states to change the Constitution. They're close. They close, but no cigar. I believe it's 2/3. I don't think they're there yet. This is one hell of a pickle. This one hell of a pickle. This dude, you know, part of me says that, along with, going in and having the artifacts sent back to the people who donated them, and saying those artifacts send the wrong message. I think things like this, I think they picking at, almost like picking at a scab or a sore. I think this is just to needle those that don't support them. You think? I think this is just to jab at people who don't support him. This is just to keep throwing something. Just keep throwing, keep churning the water, keep being nasty, keep saying something stupid. I think that's what this is about. I think it's all about keeping the system and the airwaves full of mischief. Reminiscent of Adolf Hitler. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say the only difference in that scenario is, and I'm just going to throw this out here, correct me if I'm wrong. I think in this particular situation, there's one big difference in that scenario, and I don't think the German population was as well armed as the population today, the American population today. I think if this population was not as well armed as it is, we'd be looking at some terrible stuff going down right now. I think there would be some real terrible shit going on right now if this population was not armed as well as it is. Now, we know MAGA is armed to the teeth, okay? We know for years they've been building bunkers and storing munitions and having fight classes and all sorts of stuff. Just look at Tennessee today. They literally taking Tennessee over and building a militia. They're building a militia across Tennessee. Okay? So if you're going through Tennessee, be careful, because they're building a militia all across Tennessee. They're buying up all the land, and they're doing active training, war training to do battle. They have their minds made up that there will be another civil war. They have their mind made up about it. The success of it happening, who's to say? We'll find out. But I think if the general population, notwithstanding the MAGA supporters, if the general population was not as well armed as they are, you think this dude wouldn't be sending the trucks and the brown shirts up and down the streets of urban America? Don't you think them trucks would be rolling right now? You know? The night of the knives? Night of the long knives. That's what it is. Night of the long knives. I tell you what. That's my thoughts. You see, they got no willingness. I mean, they're all willing to skip any processes, any due process. He wants to send Americans overseas to prison. He's already said it. So I think that's the only thing. That's like, that's that one thing. I wonder if they're trying to figure out a way around that. How can we, if we do this, it's going to get bloody. If we take this approach, it's going to get bloody. So we got to figure out a way around it, And we don't really want to show America that we would actually like to do a martial law kind of thing. He would love to do a martial law kind of thing. Now, there's no emergency that he can declare right now that would justify a martial law. He declared Venezuela was invading the U.S. He brought out that wartime statute that he could use to skip process and deport people. You see what he would like to do. He show you every day what he would like to do. So we'll see. We will see. Absolutely. Man, it's crazy. But to take exhibits out of a museum, that's like some petulant kind of stuff. You just want to get under the skin of the people that the museum represents. I tell you what, he will go down in history as the pettiest in the Oval Office. He is the pettiest in the Oval Office. Okay, that said, I know the tariffs are still in place as of right now. The store owners, Walmart, the most ridiculous. Absolutely, Carmen. The most ridiculous in the Oval Office. But the store shelves are subject to start getting a little slim on top of everything else. On top of everything else, he's been lying about being in talks with China to ease the tariffs. China has said daily that they are in no talks. I haven't seen any evidence of the 200 trade deals he's made. I've seen no evidence of any tariffs coming off. So it can only be a couple more weeks before supplies start to thin. For those of you who are wondering, the reason supplies haven't thinned already is because, remember when he started talking about the tariffs? When he started messing with Canada and Mexico and started putting tariffs on, suppliers ramped up spending. So they gathered up supplies. They bought inventory. And that is the inventory that we have been going through over the last month. Once the tariffs were actually in place, which has been about a month, the purchasing agents stopped buying. They ramped down buying by a long shot. And the orders that did go out probably will start to hit the ports. And remember, port activity at the ports right now is down 30%. You got your Spam and Vienna sausages. Hey, man, I hope you ain't just messing with me, man, because, for y'all information, I had to do a test run on that Spam, and it was pretty tasty the last couple of days, just so you know. Had me some fried Spam, some Spam and crackers, so, hey, I'm ready. But the supplies that were ordered, which were not very much, those supplies would probably start hitting the ports in the next week or two, because it takes like a month to 5-6 weeks for supplies to come across the ocean. Hey, Carmen, you never know. You never know. You might be snuggle up to a can one of these days. You never know. You might get cozy with one. But albeit to say, that group of supplies that will be hitting the shores soon will be the ones with the tariffs attached. You say you do know. Okay, go ahead. See, my mom had a name for folks like you. I told y'all about that, didn't I? I told y'all what my mom used to call people like you. My mom used to call y'all tough titties. See, you want to be a tough titty. So, hey, okay, you're not going to have the Spam. Well, I tell you what, just those in the area, don't knock on my door when them shelves get empty. So anyway, show you a little report. I like to keep up with how the farmers are doing, because so as the farmers go, America goes. Okay? Y'all know how that works, right? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, got a little report about the farmers in Arizona. Okay, I try to find stuff about what's going on with the farmers all around the country. Now, I've checked out Montana, Dakota. I'm going to show Arizona tonight, and we've seen Minnesota and other places. Here, the alfalfa farmers in Arizona having a small problem. Check it out.
In the Harquahala Valley, hay fields stretch as far as the eye can see. Alfalfa hay, mainly used as feed for cattle, is big business, with Arizona farms exporting over $100 million of alfalfa overseas a year. And each one of these bales of alfalfa being lifted up weighs nearly 1,000 pounds. Shannon Schultz is an alfalfa farmer and exporter.
Normally, this warehouse is completely full of hay. We're not right now because business is just slow.
Business is slow because one of his main customers, China, has imposed retaliatory tariffs on U.S. exports like Arizona alfalfa.
With the current tariffs in place, which is a total of about 66% of retaliatory tariffs by China to us, it puts our product out of the marketplace.
China made up about half of Arizona's exports. Now Schultz says Chinese farms are buying from other countries instead.
In South Africa, North Africa, Sudan, Spain.
So in Arizona fields, by the time this alfalfa grows and is ready to be harvested, there may not be a customer to buy it.
It could break us. I mean, it could break a lot of farmers.
Still, Schultz says he supports the goals behind tariffs.
I do support President Trump, and I believe that in the long run, for a lot of instances, this is going to be a good thing.
To try and bring manufacturing back to the U.S. and expand exporter access to foreign markets. But the clock is ticking.
We have to survive till then.
On whether businesses like his will be able to continue if deals aren't made soon.
I guess the question that I have is, do they need us more or do we need them more? We don't know.
Adam Klepp, ABC 15, Arizona.
Now, I say, after what I just heard, I say, hey, no bailout for the farmers. No subsidies for the farmers. Because you heard him. He supports Trump and what he's doing. Now, he went on to say, we got to survive until then. No. Hey, Charles, that's a good question. How in the hell can you still be a Trump supporter and his policies is choking the life out of your farm, choking the life out of your business, and you still believe what he's telling you? There's not going to be any large-scale manufacturing coming from overseas to locate here. It's not going to happen. And guess what? You seeing right now who needs who more. It's America that does all the buying. It's America spending all the money. See, there seems to be a misunderstanding. We spend money buying stuff from China. China gets paid every month from us for holding our debt. We have debt payments to pay China every month. They holding bonds. They're holding our country's bonds. They getting a hell of a payment from us every month in interest payments. Guess who needs who? We're paying them every month. Interest payments. So they getting cash without sending shit over here. So you put a tariff, 145%, 245% on the things that they would send over here if we were ordering them. We're the ones spending. We need to buy. And that jackass farmer doesn't know who needs who. While his hay is piling up in the field, he don't know who needs who. After he just said they're buying it from other countries. What the hell? How dumb do you have to be? I mean, do you have to get a knock on the knucklehead? Do you need a knock on the knucklehead? You know? But he's a Trump supporter and looks proud. I tell you what, I am going to email my ass off to say no to farm subsidies. I am going to email my ass off to say no farm subsidies. No paychecks, no welfare checks sent to farmers because they said they believe in what Trump is talking about. Oh, we gonna have some short-term pain, short-term pain for long-term gain. I believe in what he's talking about in the long term. How stupid can you be? And you watching every day. You looking at it every day. What's happening? China is literally ignoring America. China has developed relationships with countries all over the world. And on top of the retaliatory tariffs that China has placed on American goods going into China, on top of that, China has restricted companies and products from coming into China. Who needs who? And Donald Trump is saying every damn day, yeah, him and Xi Jinping have been talking. Trump is saying every day, we're in talks. We've been talking. And China, their spokesman is every day saying, don't know what he's talking about. Don't let him lie to you. He shouldn't be lying to you like that. It's a shame. Don't listen to him. And at no point have they walked up and said, hey, we're having meetings today with the Chinese. They ain't said that. Hey, we got a few sticking points on a few minor issues. Have you heard anything that sound like negotiations? All you heard is spokesman get in front of a camera saying, this is unsustainable. That's all you hear. China's going to have to do something quick. It's unsustainable. Meanwhile, China's saying, yeah, okay. Yeah. I tell you. Yeah, he lies all the time. He lies all the time. How's Canada? Carmen, I'm glad you asked that question. Canada's doing just fine. They are holding their elections today. Canada is holding their elections for president or prime minister today. So we should hear something in the next few days about whether or not Canada chose to go the MAGA direction or if they have decided to be liberal and continue to walk amongst the earth as human beings. Because this thing we got going here, which apparently is not human being at all, seems to have scared a lot of the Canadians into not being conservative. The conservatives took a real big hit behind Donald Trump and his behavior towards Canada. The Canadian people who would not be liberal or conservative got a real good look at conservative. See? And they didn't like the way it smelled. So we are going to see. We're going to see in the next day or two. I certainly hope that they do the right thing. I don't think they want the Canadian version of MAGA. You know, I don't think they want it. But hey, you know what? I've been wrong before. You know, boy, was I wrong. Oh my God. Anyway. Hey, check this out. I want to end this this evening. I want to well, dang, it's only one woman here. Well, we'll do this another day. I wanted to ask a question, and because I ran across something today, and I'd rather wait until it's a couple of women on the podcast. So, as a matter of fact, yeah, we'll do that. I'll bring that up later on. So, anyway, let's see what tomorrow brings. I am really interested in how Canada goes. The one thing that is for sure, you know, about Canada, let's put a pin in this right here. If the Canadian Prime Minister continues to be, I can't pronounce his name, Kiernan, I can't pronounce his name. If he wins, his win can be directly, straight line, attributed to Donald Trump's behavior. Donald Trump's behavior toward Canada is you can draw a straight line, because the liberals were behind completely over the last 6 months. If the liberals win, and I bet you the conservatives up there are so pissed at Donald Trump, and nothing they can do about it. Nothing they can do about it. They've been calling the man and begging him to stop doing what he's doing, and he won't. The same can be said of those conservative states right now that's been hit with these disasters. Remember, I talked about it last week. He done thumbed his nose at them. They begging him for help, and he's so. Let's see what tomorrow brings. I'm loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. Okay? That's the fuck around and find out effect. Okay? You heard it here. That's the fuck around and find out. Hey, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, Carmen. And I will see you Wednesday. As to the rest of you brothers, I'm going to leave you guys with this right here. When y'all out there in the streets, keep y'all hands to y'allself. Check this out.
Why you wearing this? Why you wearing this? I could do that. I could do it. I stopped you. Get the fuck out of here. All right, then you just got slapped there, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Move that shit on my face. My nigga's not extra, right? Don't wear that. Don't wear that around. I wear whatever the fuck I want. It's a free fucking country. All right, then. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. All right, do that. I dare you. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. All right, then.
Keep your hands to yourselves, brothers. Okay? I'll see y'all Wednesday. All right? Take it easy.